If setting a boundary makes her collapse emotionally or start accusing you of abuse or suddenly she wants sex again, you're not watching a breakdown, you're watching a control reset. I'm Lise Leblanc, therapist, author, and life coach, and this channel is for men who are stuck in a toxic relationship with a narcissistic woman or trying to recover from one. When a female covert narcissist feels like she's losing control over you, she doesn't just get upset. She goes into control restoration mode. And what you'll experience is a strategic breakdown of your sense of self and your sense of reality. Stick with me till the end because one of the tactics she uses when she feels you're slipping away involves sudden closeness and increased sex. And if you don't recognize it for what it is, you'll mistake control for intimacy. And if you are a man who's lived this, please type the word control in the comment section below because it helps get this information out to other men so that they can realize that they're not alone either. In this video, I'm talking about 10 tactics that covert narcissists use when they feel like they're losing control over you, over the relationship, and over the narrative. Number one, she turns dissent into danger. So the moment someone stops aligning with her narrative, her version of events, she reframes it as danger. Suddenly, anyone questioning her, whether it's a friend, a therapist, a family member, they are labeled toxic, narcissistic, unsafe, or someone who's trying to control and manipulate you. So, to prove that you're loyal to her, you start agreeing with this idea that everyone's a threat. But the common denominator is always that anyone who threatens her influence and control over you becomes the enemy that has to be eliminated from your life. That's not protection, it's a classic isolation move. Number two is history based shaming. When you start questioning her or setting boundaries, she goes hunting for a past error, something that you already feel bad about. And it could be from last week or it could be from many years ago. Sometimes it's something so old you can't believe it's being used against you like this now. So it's some mistake, a reaction you had, a moment of regret, and she turns it into a permanent trump card. So every time you try to bring something up that she did, she redirects to this file. And you'll hear, after what you did to me, you don't get to question me. Or you lost that right. Or you're lucky I'm still here. And the purpose isn't to work through the issue, obviously. The purpose is to make sure you never have equal footing ever again. Because as long as you're on permanent probation, she gets to be the judge who decides how long you need to be punished. And spoiler alert, you'll be punished forever. She will use that file to avoid accountability and keep you begging for mercy because she doesn't want resolution. She wants leverage. Number three, she quietly recasts you as the narcissist or the abuser. And this is where guilt slides into shame. Past mistakes stop being about something you did and start becoming evidence of who you are. So she reframes you as unsafe, selfish, abusive, narcissistic, untrustworthy, a man who needs to redeem himself. And she frames herself as the traumatized, wounded victim who gets to decide whether or not you're worthy as a human being, as a man, as a husband. And what you'll hear is, I don't feel safe with you. You traumatize me. And why this is so effective is because it doesn't just make you defend yourself, it puts you into redemption mode. Now your focus isn't on her behavior, it's on proving that you're a good person, safe, trustworthy. But here's the trap. This isn't about repair, it's about control. And once you accept her narrative that you should be ashamed of yourself, she's not only the judge who gets to determine your punishment and the length of your probation, she gets to decide whether you're forgivable and worthy of redemption. Number four, she accuses you of gaslighting her while actively gaslighting you. And this is one of the most destabilizing tactics because it hijacks your memory and trains you to depend on her to interpret reality for you. She'll tell you that you said something that you didn't say. And you might say, I never said that. And she'll respond with, yes, you did. And then she'll connect it to something that you actually did say. And you think, well, if that part's true, then this might be true too. And she's saying it with such conviction that you start to doubt your memory. And then she adds, honestly, it feels like you're gaslighting me right now. And the more you try to defend your recollections, the more she twists the meaning, the intention, the tone, and the content until you're so confused you don't even know if you're coming or going. And it's important to understand that gaslighting isn't about outright lying. It's about shaping the narrative to twist your sense of reality through psychological mind games and emotional pressure until you eventually surrender to the false narrative because it feels safer than standing your ground. Number 5, she triangulates to manufacture social proof. So once one on one control becomes weakened, she recruits an audience. Suddenly, her friends agree with her. Her family sees it too. Someone was concerned about your behavior. Others notice things about you. The therapist said. And what you don't see is the selective storytelling behind the scenes. Details removed, context distorted, your reactions isolated from her provocations. So, the purpose of triangulation is to make you feel outnumbered, pressured. Now it's no longer just her opinion versus yours, it's you versus an invisible jury. Triangulation gives her authority through social proof. And now she just has to look at you and say, see, it's not just me. Everyone sees that you're the problem. Number 6, she reframes your growth as betrayal. And this one often blindsides men who start healing. Because when you become calmer and less reactive, more self directed, suddenly she says, you've changed. You're not the man I fell in love with, or you don't love me anymore. You don't care about me. And what she really means is, you're no longer orbiting me. So your independence and your growth get framed as selfishness or cruelty. Number 7, she escalates emotional victimhood. So suddenly she's overwhelmed, anxious, fragile, traumatized. And you might hear things like, I can't feel safe with you. And now you're responsible for her emotional survival. And this is where men abandon themselves, not out of weakness, but because the idea of being the one who caused her pain, destroyed her when you promised to protect her is just too much. So she's playing the traumatized victim, and you're being cast into the one who caused the wounds and the one who now has to fix it, soothe her, take the blame in order to protect her from you. And that's an incredibly destabilizing place to be. Number 8 is she weaponizes therapy language. And this is one of the most dangerous things because on the surface, it sounds mature. It sounds self aware. It sounds like she's doing the work. But she's not using therapy language to heal. She's using it to further control the narrative and to fly under the radar. Suddenly, she starts labeling you with clinical sounding terms. You're avoidant, you're emotionally unavailable, you're gaslighting me. And here's what that does, it makes her look emotionally intelligent while her actual narcissistic behavior stays hidden. And it gives her a position of authority and superiority. She gets to decide what's healthy, what's safe, and what's abusive, and what's reality. And because she sounds so researched and clinical, you start thinking, well, she must be right. It must be true. And unfortunately, that's the danger of educating people about narcissism. It's not just victims who learn the terminology. Narcissists learn these terms too and use them to avoid detection. Number 9, she threatens disconnection. So if all else fails, she threatens to end the relationship in an effort to trigger your abandonment fears. And sometimes it's not even a direct threat. It's a slow, calculated withdrawal that keeps you terrified of losing her. So she might say things like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Or maybe we need to take a break. Or I think we should separate. Or I can't be with someone like you. But notice what's missing: a clear conversation and a decision, because the uncertainty is the control. She just needs to hint at abandoning you and let your nervous system do the rest. Number 10, when you finally pull away, she starts using sex and sudden closeness to pull you back in. So after days or weeks of her being cold, blaming you, being distant, she suddenly goes back to being super affectionate, sexual, future focused. She's mirroring you, touching you, laughing again. She might say things like, I don't want to fight anymore, or I can see how hard you're trying. And sometimes the sex increases because your distance has triggered a control emergency. So now she's panicking and trying to pull you in and get you back under control quickly. And there's often a redemption storyline layered in. I'm starting to trust you again. You just need therapy. I can tell you're trying now. So your nervous system quickly learns the rules: accept blame, get closeness; resist control, lose connection. That is not intimacy, that's control and conditioning. So if you're watching this and realizing this is exactly what happened to me, you're not alone. You were systematically destabilized on a psychological level. Once a covert narcissist secures a high character, emotionally steady, loyal man, she doesn't feel safe. She feels terrified of losing him. So instead of bonding in healthy ways, she bonds through control and containment. She creates security through surveillance, character erosion, guilt, shame, humiliation, threats of abandonment, exploiting your loyalty and integrity, and isolating you from competing attachments. And if you refuse to regulate her and comply, you'll experience immediate withdrawal, devaluation, contempt, and punishment. Recovery doesn't start with understanding her. It starts with rebuilding your internal reality, clearing shame from your identity, and learning how to not re enter the cycle when she tries to pull you back in. If you want help with this, I created the Toxic Relationship Recovery Program, and it's specifically designed for men who are trying to break free from a narcissistic or borderline partner. And it's not about blaming them, it's about getting your clarity back. It's about nervous system repair and reclaiming your sense of self. In the next video, I will show you what covert narcissists do when you finally leave the relationship. So please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it.